Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay. A very warm welcome to all the people present here, and we welcome on this wonderful seminar of DITO, where all the stalwarts of micro, small, and medium enterprises are present here. They're going to speak some views, some points, and the entire session will be revolving around them. Firstly, I would introduce you our four speakers and the panelists which we have. We have Mr. Chandrasekhar Chaube from D. Dadich and Company. We have Mr. Uday Panse, who is ex person from SBI. We have got Harshit Dadich, and we also have Mr. Piyush Dadich who is joining us. So firstly, before we start, I would like to introduce our first panelist so that we can speak over and we can ask some questions to him as well. And followed by that, we'll have some Q&As at the end for all the participants present here. Let's start with Chandrasekhar sir. Chandrasekhar sir, I would request you to please unmute yourself.
हेलो किरण जी.
हेलो चंद्रशेखर जी. सबसे पहले तो चंद्रशेखर चौबे सर के बारे में कुछ बताना चाहूंगा. I'm really very fine sir. He is a partner at D. Dadich and Company, heading the Nagpur branch, having experience of more than 30 years in statutory audit of companies, bank audit, IFC implementation and reporting, income tax audit and assessment, along with GST compliance, company law matters, capital budgeting and corporate finance. So I warmly welcome you, Shekhar sir, and request you to highlight about the definition of MSME, उसकी registration process कैसी होती है, उद्यम registration क्या होता है, and all the details about the brief about MSME. Please go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good day to all. Kiran ji, I am sharing my PPT.
Yeah, please share your screen, sir.
अरे चल नहीं रहा है. क्या चल है? इधर ला. इसको रीस्टार्ट करता हूँ मीटिंग.
Can you see my screen? Hello, Kiran ji.
Yeah, I can hear you. Come on, please go ahead, sir.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen. Rest of the guys, please, everybody. Hope you all can see the screen.
So, hello everyone. We will start with basic definition of MSME. So, पहले हम लोग ये जान लेते हैं MSME होता क्या है, इसकी डेफिनेशन क्या है, और उसके बाद हम लोग देखेंगे कि क्या प्रोसीजर है इसको रजिस्ट्रेशन करने की MSME में, और जो ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्टिंग रजिस्टर्ड मेंबर्स हैं उनको अगर कंटिन्यू करना है तो व्हाट विल बी द प्रोसीजर. सो
शेखर सर, आपको रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ, सॉरी मैं इंटरप्ट करूंगा बीच में, थोड़ा सा लाउड बोलेगा क्योंकि हमारे कुछ गेस्ट है जिनको आपका आवाज क्लियर नहीं आ रहा है.
ओके.
या
अभी आ रहा है? कैन यू हियर?
बेटर. आई थिंक इट्स बेटर.
सो फर्स्ट वी विल स्टार्ट विद डेफिनेशन ऑफ MSME. पहले ये समझेंगे हम लोग MSME होता क्या है. Who will covered under MSME? So there are four categories in MSME. Basically there are three categories: micro enterprises, small enterprises and medium enterprises. तो माइक्रो की डेफिनेशन हम लोग सबसे पहले समझेंगे. इसका जो बाइफर्केशन होता है that will be based investment in plant and machinery or equipments and annual turnover. So both the criteria you will have to follow to come under MSME criteria category. So first हम लोग देखते हैं माइक्रो एंटरप्राइजेस के लिए क्या प्रोसीजर रहेगी. माइक्रो एंटरप्राइजेस में वो लोग कवर होंगे जिनका इन्वेस्टमेंट इन प्लांट एंड मशीनरी और इक्विपमेंट्स विल बी नॉट मोर देन 1 crore, मींस 1 crore और लेस जिसका रहेगा ही विल बी कवर्ड अंडर माइक्रो एंटरप्राइजेस. इसके साथ में आपको एक और क्राइटेरिया फुलफिल करना है टर्नओवर की. अगर आपका टर्नओवर 5 करोड़ या उससे कम है इन लास्ट फाइनेंशियल ईयर, प्रीसीडिंग फाइनेंशियल ईयर, जैसे आज हम लोग MSME में रजिस्टर कर रहे हैं और 31 मार्च 20 को हमारा टर्नओवर 5 करोड़ या उससे कम है, तो वी कैन टेक रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ माइक्रो एंटरप्राइजेस इन MSME. सेकेंड कैटेगरी है इसमें स्मॉल एंटरप्राइजेस. स्मॉल एंटरप्राइजेस में वो लोग कवर होंगे जिनका इन्वेस्टमेंट इन प्लांट एंड मशीनरी और इक्विपमेंट्स 10 करोड़ या उससे कम है एज ऑन 31 मार्च 2020. सेकेंड क्राइटेरिया टर्नओवर की है जो 50 करोड़ और लेस है. अगर 50 करोड़ या उससे कम आपका टर्नओवर है तो यू कैन अप्लाई फॉर स्मॉल एंटरप्राइजेस अंडर MSME. थर्ड क्राइटेरिया कैटेगरी है इसमें मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस। इसमें टर्नओवर का लिमिट इन्होंने काफी बढ़ा दिया है। लास्ट जो क्राइटेरिया था उसमें काफी कम था, 10 करोड़ तक था, इसमें इन्होंने 250 करोड़ तक कर दिया है। तो इसमें जो इन्वेस्टमेंट का क्राइटेरिया है हमारा प्लांट एंड मशीनरी और इक्विपमेंट का, दैट इज 50 करोड़। अगर आपका इन्वेस्टमेंट प्लांट एंड मशीनरी में और इक्विपमेंट्स में 50 करोड़ या उससे कम है और आपका एनुअल टर्नओवर लास्ट फाइनेंशियल ईयर जो गया है उसमें 250 करोड़ और उससे कम है, तो यू कैन टेक रजिस्ट्रेशन अंडर मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस इन एमएसएमई। होप यू ऑल अंडरस्टैंड दिस कंसेप्ट। किसी को कोई डाउट है तो ही कैन आस्क मी। सेकंड, we will see registration procedure under MSME। रजिस्ट्रेशन की क्या प्रोसीजर्स है MSME में, कैसे हम लोग रजिस्टर कर सकते हैं। सो इट इज वेरी सिंपल प्रोसेस। आपको MSME की साइट पे जाना है, लिंक आई विल शेयर इन नेक्स्ट स्लाइड। तो पहले हम लोग प्रोसीजर समझ लेते हैं, उसके बाद मैं आपको बता दूंगा कि कैसे जाना है, कौन सी लिंक पे जाना है। तो अभी जो जून 20 में MSME से रिलेटेड 26 जून को एक नोटिफिकेशन आया है गवर्नमेंट का, जिसमें उन्होंने एक नया प्रोसीजर चालू किया है MSME से रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए। क्योंकि पहले काफ़ी दिक्कतें आती थी रजिस्ट्रेशन में, कई लोगों का लिंक ओपन नहीं होता था, डॉक्यूमेंट डेटा ऑटोमेटिक अपडेट नहीं करता था, जैसे पैन नंबर डालते थे तो बाकी का डेटा वो नहीं लेता था सिस्टम। तो अभी 1 जुलाई 20 से गवर्नमेंट ने एक उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन का स्कीम लाया हुआ है। तो आप MSME की साइट पे जाएंगे, मैं लिंक आपको शेयर करूंगा, तो उसमें आपको उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन करके एक लिंक दिखेगा, उसमें जाके यू कैन अप्लाई फॉर MSME। इट्स वेरी सिंपल प्रोसीजर। ये देखिए इस वाले स्लाइड में उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन का आपको प्रोसीजर दिख जाएगा और उसमें एक लिंक भी दिखा हुआ है, udyamregistration.gov.in। इस वेबसाइट पे जाना है, इस लिंक पे जाना है, वहाँ पे सारी प्रोसीजर आपको पता चल जाएंगी। हमने भी कवर किया है काफी कुछ इस स्लाइड शो में। तो सबसे पहला तो इसमें कोई डॉक्यूमेंट की, फिजिकल डॉक्यूमेंट की कोई रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है। नो नीड टू अटैच एनी डॉक्यूमेंट, जस्ट यू नीड टू फीड सम डेटा like your PAN database, Aadhaar। It is completely Aadhaar based procedure. Previously it is called as Udyog Aadhaar, now we'll call it as Udyam registration। So हम लोग देखते हैं एक बार इसका प्रोसीजर क्या होता है। तो आधार नंबर मैंडेटरी होता है, जैसे अगर कंपनी के लिए हम लोग रजिस्टर कर रहे हैं तो उसके डायरेक्टर का आधार लगता है, क्योंकि आधार से इसका OTP वेरीफाई होता है। इट इज जस्ट फॉर आइडेंटिफिकेशन पर्पस, कि कोई और किसी और का आधार यूज करके कोई रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं कर पाए। तो वंस वी स्टार्ट रजिस्ट्रेशन, सबसे पहले आधार नंबर डालना पड़ेगा। इन केस ऑफ कंपनी डायरेक्टर का आधार नंबर रहेगा, इन केस ऑफ पार्टनरशिप फॉर्म पार्टनर का रहेगा, इन केस ऑफ प्रोप्राइटरशिप फॉर्म इट इज ऑफ प्रोप्राइटर, और इन केस ऑफ ट्रस्ट इट विल बी फॉर ट्रस्टी। तो उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन में एक रिन्यूअल का भी फैसिलिटी दिया हुआ है अभी गवर्नमेंट ने। रिन्यूअल का मतलब होता है कि अगर कोई ऑलरेडी उद्योग आधार में रजिस्टर्ड है तो उसका ये क्वेरी हो सकता है कि क्या मैं भी इसमें अप्लाई कर सकता हूँ, तो यस ही कैन अप्लाई। उद्योग आधार में अप्लाई करने के लिए उद्योग आधार में अगर है, उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन में कन्वर्ट करना है, तो आपको 31 मार्च 21 तक का टाइम दिया हुआ है। सभी जो भी ऑलरेडी MSME में रजिस्टर्ड डीलर्स हैं, सब लोग को कंपलसरी मैंडेटरी आपको उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए अप्लाई करना है, और टाइम इसके लिए दिया हुआ है 2021 मार्च 2021। इसमें एक बार प्रोसीजर देख लेते हैं हम लोग, क्या क्या प्रोसीजर हमको फॉलो करना पड़ेगा रजिस्ट्रेशन करने के लिए। एक तो सबसे पहले आधार बेस्ड OTP रहेगा, OTP जाएगा आपको आधार पे, उसके बाद आपका पैन नंबर डालना है। उसमें पैन और GST जो भी डिटेल, जो भी इंटरप्राइज का ऑलरेडी GST नंबर लिया हुआ है, ये जो उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन है ये ऑलरेडी लिंक रहता है GST डेटाबेस से और पैन डेटाबेस से। आप जैसे ही पैन और GST का डिटेल डालेंगे, it will automatically take your data from income tax site और GST site, और ये पूरी तरह से इनकम टैक्स और GST की साइड से इंटीग्रेटेड रहता है। अभी देखिए इसमें जो ये स्लाइड है 8 नंबर वाली स्लाइड, इसमें लिखा हुआ है those who have registration issued by any authority under the Ministry of MSME will also have to re-register themselves under the new portal। जो एग्जिस्टिंग डीलर्स हैं जिन्होंने ऑलरेडी MSME में रजिस्ट्रेशन करके रखा हुआ है, दे कैन ऑल्सो अप्लाई फॉर दिस उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन, बट 2021 तो तक सभी को करना ही कंपलसरी है। उसके बाद इसमें अगर कोई, जैसे ये भी देखिए ये वाला पॉइंट है हमारे 9 नंबर का फर्स्ट पॉइंट, 9th स्लाइड का फर्स्ट पॉइंट, कि एग्जिस्टिंग इंटरप्राइजेस रजिस्टर्ड प्रायर टू 30th June 20 shall continue to valid only for a period up to 31st March 2021. No enterprise can have more than one registration, मतलब यूनिक रहता है, ये पैन बेस रहता है इसीलिए यूनिक रहता है, तो एक इंटरप्राइज एक ही रजिस्ट्रेशन ले सकती है। आप कितनी भी उसमें एक्टिविटी डाल सकते हैं, ट्रेडिंग एक्टिविटी इसमें कवर नहीं होती है। काफी लोगों का क्वेरी रहता है कि अगर हम लोग होलसेल ट्रेडर हैं या रिटेल ट्रेडर हैं तो वेदर विल कवर्ड अंडर दिस एमएसएमई, तो दे विल नॉट बी कवर्ड अंडर एमएसएमई। दिस इज ओनली फॉर मैन्युफैक्चरर एंड सर्विस प्रोवाइडर। इसमें कोई रजिस्ट्रेशन, ऑनलाइन रजिस्ट्रेशन की कोई फीस नहीं रहती है, मतलब कोई गवर्नमेंट आपको कुछ चार्ज नहीं करती है, इसमें कोई मिनिमम फीस की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है, यू कैन रजिस्टर फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट। उसके बाद हम लोग आते हैं, होप यू ऑल अंडरस्टैंड द प्रोसीजर टू रजिस्टर अंडर उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन एंड एमएसएमई। इसके बाद हम लोग बेनिफिट्स देखेंगे, व्हाट आर द बेनिफिट्स ऑफ रजिस्ट्रेशन। रजिस्ट्रेशन करने, हमको रजिस्ट्रेशन क्यों चाहिए, कई लोगों का डाउट रहता है कि एमएसएमई में रजिस्टर करके हमको क्या बेनिफिट होगा। तो इसमें सबसे पहला जो बेनिफिट होगा, सबसे मेजर जो बेनिफिट अभी आया है सामने, उसमें ये है कि अगर मैं जैसे कोई सर्विस प्रोवाइडर हूँ और मैं एमएसएमई में रजिस्टर्ड हूँ और मैंने किसी को सर्विस प्रोवाइड किया है या किसी को गुड्स बेचा है, तो सामने वाला डीलर मुझे 45 डेज के अंदर पेमेंट दे ही देना चाहिए। अगर नहीं देगा तो उसको आरओसी को रिपोर्ट करना पड़ेगा कि पेमेंट उसने डीलर को क्यों नहीं दिया। और हर ऑडिट रिपोर्ट में भी कंपनी का जो फाइनेंशियल आया है, नया फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट आया है कंपनीज एक्ट में, उसमें स्पेसिफिकली इसके लिए उन्होंने इसका नोट देना है आपको कि अगर कोई एमएसएमई ने आपको सर्विस प्रोवाइड किया है या एमएसएमई से आपने कोई गुड्स परचेस किया है तो उसका पेमेंट 45 डेज तक आपको देना ही है। अगर नहीं दिया है तो यू हैव टू रिपोर्ट इट अंडर फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट और इसका अलग से सेपरेट डिस्क्लोजर देना है। तो सबसे बड़ा बेनिफिट ये है कि एमएसएमई में जो लोग हैं उनका पेमेंट काफी फास्ट आने के चांसेस हैं, क्योंकि काफी लोगों को रिपोर्टिंग करना पड़ेगा। इसका नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट जाता है फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट पे, शेयर होल्डर्स पे, बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स पे। तो काफी लोग इसको डिले नहीं करना चाहते हैं, एमएसएमई डीलर्स का, सर्विस प्रोवाइडर का जो पेमेंट है। देखिए यहाँ पे आया है, द बायर इज लायबल टू पे कंपाउंड। अगर आपका कोई बायर जो है, सर्विस रिसीवर या फिर बायर है, उसने 45 डेज के अंदर पेमेंट नहीं दिया आपको, then he will have to pay interest, compounding interest with monthly rest to suppliers on the amount at the 3 times of the bank rate specified by RBI. इसके लिए बहुत सारे फैसिलिटेशन सेंटर भी स्टैब्लिश किया हुआ है गवर्नमेंट ने, एमएसएमई डिपार्टमेंट ने, विद द हेल्प ऑफ स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स। तो अगर किसी को पेमेंट नहीं आ रहा है, किसी ने किसी कॉर्पोरेट को सर्विस दिया है और उसका पेमेंट नहीं आ रहा है या कोई डिले हो रहा है, तो वो कंप्लेन कर सकता है। वहाँ पे डिस्प्यूट सेटलमेंट के लिए उनको प्रायोरिटी दिया जाएगा, क्योंकि बिकॉज ये एमएसएमई सेक्टर के लिए ही बना हुआ है। तो आप उसमें अप्लाई कर सकते हैं अगर आपका पेमेंट कहीं रुका हुआ है तो, एंड इजीली यू कैन रिकवर योर अमाउंट। नेक्स्ट स्लाइड पे आते हैं हम लोग कि अभी इसमें जैसे कई लोगों का क्वेरी रहता है कि कंपनीज को कोई अलग से फॉर्मेट रहता है कि जैसे मैं एक कंपनी हूँ और मैंने किसी सर्विस प्रोवाइडर का 45 डेज में पेमेंट नहीं दिया है, या फिर मैंने किसी से गुड्स खरीदा है, उसका पेमेंट नहीं दे पाया मैं किसी कारण से, तो मुझे कौन सा फॉर्म फाइल करना पड़ेगा। तो उनको हर 6 मंथ में एक रिपोर्ट फाइल करना पड़ता है एमसीए को कि उन्होंने पेमेंट क्यों नहीं दिया। मतलब हाफ ईयरली रिटर्न रहता है वो, उसका ड्यू डेट जैसे मार्च का रिटर्न है तो वो 30 अप्रैल तक जाना चाहिए, और सितंबर क्वार्टर का, सितंबर हाफ ईयर का अगर रिटर्न है तो वो 1 अक्टूबर तक के जाना चाहिए। तो ये एक बहुत बड़ा बेनिफिट है, मतलब जिससे जो जितने भी स्मॉल ट्रेडर्स हैं उनके लिए काफी बेनिफिशियल है ये, मतलब जब से आया है। और ऐसा भी रिव्यू भी आ रहा है मार्केट में कि जो छोटे मोटे डीलर हैं उनका पेमेंट अभी कोई रोक नहीं रहा है अननेसेसरी। तीसरा बेनिफिट ये है कि इसमें एक सीजीटी एमएससी में गवर्नमेंट बेनिफिट देती है, जो कि सिर्फ और सिर्फ माइक्रो स्मॉल एंड मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस को ही मिलता है। तो ये अभी हम लोग, पहला तो जो हमारा टॉपिक था बेनिफिट्स का, वो ये था कि मैं अपनी रिकवरी कैसे करूं एज अ ट्रेडर, एज अ डीलर, एज अ सर्विस प्रोवाइडर। अगर मैं एमएसएमई में कवर होता हूं तो मुझे, मैंने जो सर्विस दिया हुआ है, जो माल बेचा हुआ है, उसके लिए जो रिकवरी करना है उसमें क्या बेनिफिट मिलेगा। अब हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं कि हमको बैंकर से कैसे सपोर्ट मिलेगा, फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस कैसे मिलेगा हमको। उसके लिए भी बहुत सारी अच्छी स्कीम्स लाया हुआ है गवर्नमेंट ने। उसमें से एक है सीजीटी एमएससी, क्रेडिट गारंटी फंड स्कीम फॉर माइक्रो एंड स्मॉल एंटरप्राइजेस। मतलब इसमें क्या होता है कि सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट बैंकों को सपोर्ट करती है कि आप डीलर एमएसएमई में अगर कोई कवर होता है, रजिस्ट्रेशन लिया हुआ है, तो आप उसको फंडिंग करो, दैट विल बी 100% गारंटीड बाय सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट। अगर बैंकों को डीलर पैसा नहीं दे पाता है या ट्रेडर पैसा नहीं दे पाता है तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट विल रिपे द मनी टू बैंक। तो बैंकों का इसमें रिस्क जीरो हो जाता है, तो इसीलिए बैंक थोड़ा सा एग्रेसिवली इस चीज को फॉलो कर रहे हैं। इसमें रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट थोड़ा सा ज्यादा रहता है नॉर्मल से, बट इसमें काफी सारे बेनिफिट्स हैं। और इसमें सबसे बड़ा एडवांटेज है कि कोई कोलेटरल नहीं लगता। जैसे मेरे पास कोई आइडिया है या मैं बिजनेस एक्सपांड करना चाहता हूँ अपना, और मेरे पास कोलेटरल देने के लिए कोई प्रॉपर्टी नहीं है, कुछ मतलब मैं कहीं से फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस नहीं मिल पा रहा है, तो बैंक से मैं 2 करोड़ तक का अनसिक्योर्ड फंडिंग ले सकता हूँ। थोड़ा सा इसमें रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट ज्यादा रहता है क्योंकि रिस्क पोर्शन ज्यादा है इसमें, कंप्लीट अनसिक्योर्ड है तो। बट काफी हेल्प हो जाता है ऐसे ट्रेडर को अगर उनको बिना कोलेटरल के फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस मिलता है, क्योंकि कोलेटरल का ही बहुत बड़ा इशू होता है। तो ये एक बहुत बड़ा बेनिफिट है। इसका बेनिफिट कैसे लेना है, कितना मतलब प्रोसीजर क्या होगी, ये पांसे जी ज्यादा बेटर बता पाएंगे बिकॉज ही इज एन बैंकर। तो अभी हम लोग जस्ट इसको ओवरव्यू कर लेते हैं, डिटेल में पांसे जी बात करेंगे। इसके अलावा एक पैकेज स्कीम ऑफ इंसेंटिव भी लाया हुआ है 2019 में, जो कि ये भी फैसिलिटी सिर्फ और सिर्फ एमएसएमई डीलर को ही मिलेगा। इसमें गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से काफी सारे जो नए इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट हैं या फिर जो नए एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हैं या फिर जिनके पास कोई आइडिया नया एक्सपांशन करना चाहते हैं, नई इंडस्ट्रियल यूनिट डालना चाहते हैं, डाइवर्सिफिकेशन करना चाहते हैं अपने बिजनेस का, तो उनको पैकेज स्कीम ऑफ इंसेंटिव मिलेगा। इसको पीएसआई 2019 भी बोलते हैं। इसमें भी बहुत सारे बेनिफिट्स हम लोग आगे की स्लाइड्स में देखेंगे इसको। देखिए इसमें क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ एरियाज फॉर पीएसआई 2019 डिवाइडेड इनटू दिस ग्रुप्स। इसमें कई सारे ग्रुप हैं, जिसमें से ग्रुप ए वो है जैसे बॉम्बे जैसे डेवलप्ड एरिया जो है, बॉम्बे हो गया, सूरत हो गया, अहमदाबाद हो गया, बड़ी सिटीज जो है जो डिनोट्स इंडस्ट्रियली डेवलप्ड एरियाज, उनके लिए बेनिफिट्स दिए जाएंगे। अब इसमें डिटेल में कौन से बेनिफिट दिए जाएंगे, क्या बेनिफिट दिए जाएंगे, इसके लिए हम लोगों को अगर उसमें जाएंगे तो इट विल टेक मच टाइम, तो उसके लिए हम लोग डिटेल में एक सेशन रख सकते हैं। सेकेंड हमारा है ग्रुप बी। एक मिनट स्लाइड बैक स्लाइड पे जाना मेरे। ग्रुप बी डिनोट्स एरियाज वेयर सम इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट हैज टेकन प्लेस। जैसे अभी कुछ कई सारे जगह होते हैं, जैसे अभी नागपुर जैसी सिटी है, या फिर आप अभी पुणे है, जहाँ पे इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट धीरे धीरे चालू हो रहा है। मतलब उतना नहीं है जितना बॉम्बे, अहमदाबाद और बॉम्बे के सराउंडिंग्स में है। तो जो मतलब टायर 3 सिटीज बोल सकते हैं आप, टायर 3 सिटीज में जो इंडस्ट्रियल अपना डेवलपमेंट करना चाहती हैं या कोई एक्सपेंशन करना चाहता है, नई यूनिट डालना चाहता है, उसके लिए आपको पैकेज स्कीम ऑफ 2019 में बेनिफिट मिलेगा। इसमें बहुत सारे बेनिफिट रहते हैं। अब जैसे हम लोग थोड़ा सा ब्रीफ कर देते हैं कि पावर सप्लाई आपको कंसेशनल रेट पे मिल जाएगा। स्टैम्प ड्यूटी, जैसे ये देखिए हमारी ये वाली स्लाइड है, हम थोड़ा सा 3 स्लाइड आगे चले गए, हम फिर वापस पीछे की स्लाइड पे जाएंगे। तो इसमें बेनिफिट देखिए इस तरीके के ब्लैंक बेनिफिट्स मिलेंगे आपको। इंडस्ट्रियल प्रमोशन सब्सिडी मिलेगा, वहाँ पे इंटरेस्ट सब्सिडी मिलेगा अगर आप कोई फाइनेंस बैंक से उठाना चाहते हैं तो। इलेक्ट्रिसिटी अगर आपको जो गवर्नमेंट कोई इंडस्ट्रियल एरिया में चार्ज कर रहा है 10 रुपए पर यूनिट, तो इस स्कीम में आपको 6 रुपए 7 रुपए पर यूनिट मिलेगा। उसके अलावा स्टैम्प ड्यूटी, अगर आप कोई जमीन लेना चाह रहे हैं, इंडस्ट्रियल यूनिट लेना चाह रहे हैं, तो स्टैम्प ड्यूटी नॉर्मली 8% 10% है, तो इसमें आपको कंसेशनल स्टैम्प ड्यूटी मिलेगा। कितना कंसेशन मिलेगा दैट विल सी लेटर ऑन। मयूर पहले की स्लाइड पे जाना जहाँ पे पॉइंटर्स थे। हाँ, सी नंबर में आता है डिनोट्स एरियाज विच आर लेस डेवलप्ड देन दोज कवर्ड अंडर बी। मतलब इसमें टायर 4 सिटीज बोल सकते हैं आप, जहाँ पे अभी थोड़ा थोड़ा इंडस्ट्रीज जा रही हैं। अभी जैसे जो कुछ डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स हैं, कुछ जिले हैं जिनको डेवलप तो करना चाह रहे हैं, बट वहाँ पे बेसिक फैसिलिटी नहीं है। जैसे पावर सप्लाई प्रॉपर नहीं है, अनइंटरप्टेड वाटर सप्लाई नहीं है, लेबरर्स नहीं है उतने, ये सब वो एरियाज हैं। मयूर आगे करना चाहिए। हाँ देखिए, ग्रुप डी डिनोट्स द लेसर डेवलप्ड एरियाज ऑफ द स्टेट नॉट कवर्ड अंडर ग्रुप ए बी सी, जो कि ऊपर के तीनों कैटेगरी में नहीं है। टायर 5 टायर 6 आ गए इसमें। और ये लिस्ट ऐसे ही बढ़ती जाएगी। लास्ट में नक्सलाइज अफेक्टेड एरिया जैसे गढ़चिरौली हो गया, या फिर कुछ ऐसे एरियाज हैं जहाँ पे जो बॉर्डर आंध्रा के बॉर्डर पे हैं, जहाँ पे इंडस्ट्रीज जाने से थोड़ा डरती हैं। इसके लिए इन्होंने काफी सारे बेनिफिट्स लाए हुए हैं, ताकि इस चीज को प्रमोट करने के लिए कि लोग अपने अपने इंडस्ट्रीज वहाँ सेटअप करें, एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेट करें। ये हम लोग देख चुके हैं। उसके अलावा एक और पैकेज स्कीम इंसेंटिव स्कीम में एक और चीज आती है, एडिशनल इंसेंटिव फॉर एक्सपेंशन प्रोजेक्ट। अगर कोई अपना प्रोजेक्ट एक्सपैंड करना चाह रहा है, कोई इंडस्ट्रियल यूनिट एडिशनल डालना चाह रहा है, या किसी भी वे में एक्सपेंशन करना चाह रहा है, तो उसके लिए कुछ बेनिफिट्स हैं। जैसे देखिए, अब 5% subsidy on additional capital equipment acquired for technology upgradation, maximum of ₹25 lakhs. अगर कोई टेक्नोलॉजी में मैं टेक्नोलॉजिकली अपग्रेड करना चाह रहा हूँ किसी सिस्टम को, तो मैं अगर उसके लिए कुछ प्लांट लगाना चाह रहा हूँ, कोई बीपीओ चालू करना चाह रहा हूँ, कोई केपीओ चालू करना चाह रहा हूँ, जो कि कंप्लीटली इट विल बी ऑन टेक्नोलॉजी अपग्रेडेशन, तो उसमें मैक्सिमम 25 लाख तक का बेनिफिट आपको मिल।
शेखर जी आपका वॉइस कट हो रहा है। शेखर जी, आई थिंक सो कुछ नेटवर्क इशू है आपके साइड से। Hello, I think Shekhar sir has got some network issues out there. So anyways, he has covered majority of the points like how to start MSME, how to register MSME, and the various benefits which is government is providing to various companies who would like to register for MSME and the various loan process. Now, I would request if somebody has got one or two couple of questions we'd like to take here, or else we'll take the questionnaires in the end in detail. So if anybody would like to ask one or two odd questions, kindly raise your hand and put up your questions and unmute yourself.
किरण जी, सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट यू, मेरा पावर एक्चुअली
yes
डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया था, दैट्स व्हाई।
नो प्रॉब्लम सर, आपने मेजॉरिटी सारी चीजें कवर की है। तो इफ आई रिक्वेस्ट एनी ऑफ द पार्टिसिपेंट्स हु वुड लाइक टू ask your questions, please do now, because the topics will be covered by different panelists and there are some questions which you might forget at the end. So if anybody would like to ask questions to Shekhar sir, it's time now to ask. Okay, Rajesh sir, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi Shekhar, this is Prabhansh. I'm practicing advocate. My concern is regarding the facilitation council which you stated about. My only question is that how much tentative time does it take for the facilitation council to decide my dispute before the Fed?
Sorry,
Hello?
I can't hear your name.
Yeah, my good name is Prabhansh.
Prabhansh. Hi Prabhansh.
Hi.
देखिए अभी जो उद्यम जी आपका कंसर्न मैं समझ गया। अभी जो उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन आया हुआ है ना, नया वाला, इसमें अभी तक के जो आपने क्वेरी रेज किया, ऐसा कोई मैटर आया नहीं है फिलहाल। अभी तक के हमारे नॉलेज में कुछ ऐसा मैटर नहीं आया।
No, facilitation council you stated ना about.
जी
You stated about a facilitation council. So I just have a doubt that how much time duration does it take for a facilitation?
If you have any concern which might you go for facilitation center, it will take around 1 to 2 weeks maximum to resolve the matter. Any matter.
Okay.
Because they are very aggressively working on it. Because
okay, sir. Fine, sir.
Thank you, Prabhansh. Rajesh sir is requested to ask your question as you have raised your hand. Rajesh Sharma ji. राजेश जी, आप सुन रहे हैं क्या मुझे?
जी सुन रहा हूं मैं।
हाँ बोलिए ना सर।
मेरा ऐसा कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है, आप कंटिन्यू करिए प्लीज।
ओके, थैंक यू सो मच सर। Okay, we'll also share a number of Mr. Shekhar. So if anybody would like to get in more detail about the registration process, definitely you can connect Shekhar sir from D. and Company. Let's move forward. Now I would like to introduce to Mr. Uday Panse, who is retired AGM, Assistant General Manager from State Bank of India, Nagpur branch. He is an established professional with 40 plus years of experience spanning across different functions of banking, including credit management, in which he has got 30 years, holding senior management positions where he has got 16 years of experience. He has also worked in administrative offices for 10 years and branch operations for approximately 29 years. on targeting assignments in business operation and management, preferably in banking industry. So I welcome you on behalf of DITO, Uday sir. I would request you to please kindly highlight on the banking process and contactless lending platform, along with issues and financial assistance to SME, particularly in this COVID situation. Uday sir. Uday sir, you need to unmute yourself. Huh?
Okay. Now
Yeah.
is my voice audible? Na? Okay.
Yeah,
So,
audible,
good
sir.
afternoon. Thank you. First of all, I have retired from the State Bank of India, and I shared with you earlier also. These are the views and knowledge which I have got over the years, which I am sharing with you. And my exemplar State Bank of India has nothing to do with it. So I just wanted to make it clear, and this
Yes.
it should not brag SBI in that picture.
Definitely, sir.
Yeah. Actually, I am focusing mostly on this financing of this MSME sector. And in case of financing of MSME sector, we are having at this moment in the post-COVID-19 area, 4 to 5 schemes are there at this moment. First is the working capital finance, that is a reassessment of fund-based working capital limits. Second is the common COVID-19 emergency credit line. Then liberalized working capital assessment. These are bifurcated in two parts, is up to 5 crores and above 5 crores. Then guaranteed emergency credit line, and then contactless lending platform. So at this moment, first I will try to cover guaranteed emergency credit line because this scheme is available up to 31st October 2020. And this is most talk about the scheme in case of Narendra Modi sir's 15 lakh crores outlay, that project they have displayed. This is the 3 lakh crore has been allocated to this guaranteed emergency credit line. Now, this credit line is available for 100% guarantee, but be provided by National Credit Guarantee Scheme Trustee Company. So NGTSC will be providing this company, and this will be extended in the form of working capital term loan facility by all scheduled commercial banks, financial institutions, all these papers. And this is additional term loan facility. Though it is a term loan facility, debt service coverage ratio, all other things will not come to this picture. This is only working capital term loan that we do in most in the case of securities. So this is the working capital term loan, and it has been at this moment restricted for a total credit outstanding up to rupees 25 crores from all the banking sector, all the banking institutions as on 29th February 2020. A limit of 20% of this will be sanctioned by the respective banks. And in this case, the maximum amount will come as rupees 5 crores. That scheme has been started this scheme has started already, but it is applicable from the loan sanction from the 23rd May 2020 to 31st October 2020. An amount of 3 lakh crores has been given under this scheme by our Modi sir, and it will be even out somewhere. In this case, there are basically three conditions which I wanted to highlight. That you are having outstanding of rupees 25 crores as on 29th February 2020 from all banking institutions. Secondly, annual turnover is up to rupees 100 crores in 2019 and 20. And in the further case, in this case, you have a registration or were not required to obtain any registration. Udyog Aadhaar recognition as MSME is not at all required under this scheme. So all existing SMA account, SMA 01 and 0, SMA 0 and 01 accounts are covered in this scheme, and SMA 2 accounts are not covered in this scheme. If you go further, this is actually a pre-approved loan. So bank, based on their algorithms, they have worked out some of the parameters, and they have given this pre-approved loan, and this pre-approved loan will be sent to your either SMS or your email, and then you have to apply for that. You have to click it. Yes, I wanted this MSME loan, CGTSL loan. And once you approve, or otherwise you have to opt out of the scheme. You don't want that. So there is no, what I can say, there is no assessment. There is no papers to be submitted. This is based on your existing parameters, which is available with the bank, that is there. Now, once we come to the existing parameters, so I just wanted to make here clear that there is no internal credit rating is not required in this case, and whatever the rating are available is also applicable in this case also. Further going, that this tenure of this loan is 4 years, and first year is the moratorium. Term loan is the moratorium, and you have to repay the principal amount in the 3 years, and interest as and when applicable in this scheme. No additional collateral is required in this case, and GECL means guaranteed NGCDCL will have a second charge on the assets and not the pari passu like that. It is having the second charge. The funding settlement is they have done is that once the account got default, then 75% guaranteed amount will be paid immediately, and 25% guaranteed 75% guaranteed amount will be paid within 30 days of an eligibility, and 25% will be paid after a recovery proceeding started or till the decree expires. This is for only for existing borrowers, which I already cover. So at this moment, any question on this credit guarantee scheme, or shall I speak to another scheme also?
I would prefer, so you can continue if at all after the entire explanation is done. We'll ask questions from the audience or the guests.
Okay. So one of the best at this moment, which I found in this scenario, COVID-19 scenario, because most of the accounts are NPA or on the verge of NPA. So for that, RBI has come out with a scheme that liberalized scheme for working capital. Now this liberalized scheme for working capital, it has been covered for SMA 0, 1 and 2 also. None other scheme other than this has been covered for SMA 2 accounts also. So here this liberalized scheme has come, and this has been given to build up the current assets. To build up the current assets, this has been given. Now it has been standard accounts as on date of sanction, SMA 0, 1 and 2. Again, I'm repeating. Then this is applicable to all units, irrespective of interleading. At this moment, no takeover is permitted. Under this scheme, since you are having two schemes, means two schemes. One is up to 5 crores and one is above 5 crores. Basic difference up to 5 crores is that this is NIC committee will come here, and here the 33% of the working capital of the revised projected annual turnover of 2020-21 will be considered. So you don't have to go past. If you are having submitted your CMA or if you have submitted your projected turnover, then also you can revisit the turnover. This is that way which has been covered. And another beautiful beauty of this product at this moment is that margin on stocks has been reduced to 10%. Despite the traditional margins of 25% generally put in the stocks, SIP, finished goods and raw material, and receivable generally 40% or something like that margin is stipulated. In case of receivables, the margin covered is the 15%. So these are the two beauty of this product. And even the receivables up to a period of 90 days can be covered under this scheme. There will be no primary security only will be there. That is the charge on the current assets, both present and future. And collateral security, whatever existing security you are having, you have to extend the charge on that security, and no additional collateral is required. And as our Dubey has said, that up to 2 crores CGTMEC cover is available in this particular case. So collateral free loans can also be given. Now coming back to another is that above 5 crores. Basic difference in this 5 crores is that again applicable to all units irrespective of the interletting. Here only one criteria is that net working capital NWC should not be negative as per your RAS level. That is only basic criteria. Then assessment on this particular is done based on the PBS method, projected balance sheet method, or cash budget method. CMA you will have to again revise. Then margins I have already shared. Documents which are required for the liberalized working capital is that cash flow statements for exposure up to rupees 50 crores and above, and revised CMA for exposure below 50 crores. Then audited financial statement and asset liability statement. This is the thing. Then again I will just touch one more point if you are permit me for touching one more scheme. Am I permitted?
Yeah, please sir, please go ahead.
This is the working capital financing under RBI's package reassessment of the fund-based working capital years. Now here due to the elongation of the working capital cycle, raw material holding has been included, receivables holding has been included. So here they have permitted to reassess the working capital limits, and here they have covered all types of activities and industries. there is no bar that it has been covered there. Then even the schematic lending also, like dealer finance scheme, vendor finance scheme, that has been also covered. Even asset-backed loan also has been covered. And in case of asset-backed loan, the limit, they have ensured that restriction of limits should be done is permitted as a one-time measure. Otherwise, in case of bank limit, it is not permitted. It is after the application of the valuation report and after say 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, it has to be done. But in this particular, the special measure, they are permitted. Before completion of 12 months, you can restitute the limit. Then LTV ratio for Axis Bank limit, they have increased to 75%. Earlier it was only 60%. Now they have increased to 75%. Only in this case required that revised CM is required. Assessment to be done keeping in the reduced margin requirement and holding period on current assets, enhanced cover period for receivable and other. So operating cash cycle has been increased. Another product here comes as a common emergency credit line, CCCEL. So this is done to meet the temporary liquidity mismatch arising out of the COVID-19 involving payment of statutory dues, salary, wages, electricity bills, rent, etc. Here the loan amount is maximum 10% of your existing fund-based limit and the maximum cap is rupees 200 crores. So CCEL is available up to rupees 200 crores. All standard accounts are covered. SMA 0 and SMA 1 accounts are as on date of sanction, irrespective to internal rate of rating. This is available for tenure of 24 months. And however, this was applicable up to 30th June 2020, but now it has been permitted to go up to 31st July 2020. You have to draw this amount in the 3 tranches, either single tranche or maximum of 3 tranches. The amount is to be repayable in 80 decade monthly installment. Margin will be nil, and rate of interest will be 1 year. MCLR to be reset every year. One thing I forgot to tell in my first product, that is a guaranteed emergency credit line. That rate stipulated is 1% over RBI's rate, and our margin, subject to maximum of 9.25%. So that fund is available at that cheapest rate. Coming back to contactless platform, so this all we know. It has been started by Narendra Modi sir from the 2nd November 2018 in their Mann Ki Baat, and we know that PBB, that one side PB loan in I think PB Mudra loan something in 59 minutes. So that is the case, and here. Now it has been bifurcated in the 3 cases, like CLP Mudra for loans up to 1 lakh to 10 lakhs, then 10 lakhs to 100 lakhs, and loan above rupees 1 crore to 5 crores. So contactless platform is now available up to 5 crores. Basic documents required here is the 150% of the last year sales. It has been sanctioned. For analyzing current year sale, then GST sale minimum 3 months will be required. And in case GST data is not available, projected turnover with 100% of last year GST sale will be taken. One of the conditions here is the chief promoter should be between the 18 to 65 years age. Contactless platform, you know, all this fintech company has started this platform, and then PSU banks also jumped in this platform. This is the SIDBI-less consortium of the banks that have done this case, and this is user friendly, and in principle sanction is given in this case. In principle sanction is expected to be given in the 24 hours. Later on, you can complete the process within 6 to 8 days. 3 to 8 days. Another 2 things have come here: personal loans up to home loans up to 10 crores and personal loan up to 15 crores has also been covered in this. If you can go and speak about the advantages of the contactless banking, then it is quick availability of the credit, simple and hassle-free finance. Another beauty of this product is that availability of multiple banking choice. So it is not restricted that you should apply to State Bank of India, Union Bank of India, IBI, any bank of your choice, you can apply, and they have to assess the limit. So what is generally it happens that borrower has to go from pillar to pillar, from one bank to another bank. This is not applicable here, because so up to 5 crores, as per your choice of bank, you can apply to the thing. As far as the banker is concerned, there is a time limit has been reduced. accountability has been reduced in this case, because most of the data is the pre-funded, has been cross-checked per the system, like your GST return, PAN data, everything has been cross-checked. And that's why bankers are also eager to finance under these 5 crores. With this, Kiran, I think I have covered maximum of the schemes.
Yes,
Thank you.
Uday sir, thank you so much. I would also request all the guests to please kindly note down the questions which we'll be taking at the end of the session. Now, I would request Mr. Piyush Dadit sir to please come forward and speak something. But before that, let me introduce you. We have Piyush sir is a qualified financial professional with over 10 years of work experience in various fields, namely financial planning and analysis, financial due diligence and index research, equity research, risk management, and auditing assurance. Currently, he is associated with the company named Swiss Re as Assistant Vice President in Analysis and Reporting Team, looking after financial planning and analysis for PNC Reassurance for APSE. I welcome you, sir, on behalf of DITO. I would request, please share your views and how you can help MSME companies for their betterment and future.
Thanks, Kiran, for wonderful introduction.
Thank you so
And
much.
I would like to thank Uday and Shekhar as well for exemplary presentation, which they have given. I'll not take much of your time. I'll just take 5 minutes. Probably I'll just share my screen first. Let me know when you're able to see it.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, we can see that, sir. Make it full screen, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, it's full screen already. There could be a lag, so let me know if you can't see my screen. I'll probably wait for you guys.
Sure.
To start with, it's quite a big topic, MSME, and what I have in my slides are already covered by Uday sir and Shekhar. So thanks a lot for that. But probably I'll just start with the introduction, which I've already given. I'll just go ahead with the agenda. So I would be talking moreover on the major challenges which are faced by MSME sector as of now, and then I'll be just talking about some funding schemes which sir has already taken us through. But probably I have just written evidence, so that's good to go ahead. Uh, to talk about the major challenges in the MSME sector, we all know how important it is for the businesses to have a proper credit flow. And this is one of the things which we see in India is not quite significantly there for MSME sector. When we go to banks, everything gets cancelled, everything gets rejected, and we don't get the proper funding which we should. So there are a lot of proper measures in place by government to come up with schemes, to come up with these specific loans for particular sector like MSME. So that is one of a prime reason why we do have a lot of schemes coming up for these kind of institutions and sector. The second thing is also to do with the low rate of IT adoption, which is quite correlated with what kind of sector it is. So it's not where you could go and spend a lot of money on a lot of things, because you need proper money to spend on proper things. And then again, the credit flow comes in picture, that you should have credit worthiness or proper balance sheet exposure in debt and equity to spend on your assets and to take care of other things which are going market. So low rate of IT adoption again comes on your credit flow, which is not there significantly. And then we have lack of best practices in manufacturing marketing. Seeing the sector which is quite small in size, we cannot be good at everything. And that is one of the things where they could go and really look at where they could improve. But again, it requires a lot of funding and a lot of expenditure on that side. So again, that is one thing which would be in times to come would have a lot of things to look at. If we really go to check for the credit and funding to MSMEs as the things which are already spoken by Uday and Shekhar sir, I'll just be going in 3 schemes only. So the first one is what Shekhar sir spoke about, rupee 3 lakh crore collateral free automatic loans. The second was about what Shekhar sir mentioned, about 20,000 crore subordinate debt, and the third one is about 50,000 crore equity infusion, which has just come up by Prime Minister. So I'll just be going one by one. Let me know if it's going a bit fast. It could be I'm just rushing. The first one I'll just talk about is 3 lakh crore collateral free automatic loans for businesses. So as we all see how hit the world is due to COVID, and how important it is for MSME sector to just go on, because there are a lot of thin margins which remains in businesses, and we do not have greater profitability to come up with and do not distress ourselves in crisis like situation like COVID, which we have as of now. So to meet, we do have some specific uh, schemes which have been announced by government. So the decision is which came up, and that would involve banks and NBFCs to fund MSMEs up to 20% of entire outstanding credit limits which they have. So this is up to, that is the maximum limit. Even Uday sir talked about it. So they will be seeing your outstanding credit limit, or we can say loan, which you have as of date, and that is restricted up to 20% of that amount. Who is eligible? So borrowers who have up to 25 crore outstanding as loan amount and have turnover of up to 100 crores. So if you have turnover more than 100, or you have loans already in the balance sheet more than 25 crores, then you're not eligible. And what all it considers, so specific factors, if we need to talk about, that loan will have specific a 4-year tenure and a moratorium of 12 months on principal repayment. Moratorium, what we already see for individuals as well. And interest would be capped for 9.25 for scheduled commercial banks, and for NBFCs, it's 14%. And there will be 100% credit guarantee, as mentioned by the sir, to banks and NBFCs, and also which makes it more good because government is giving you cover, so the banks will not think twice, or bank will not reject those many cases and will fund you quite nicely. So that's a good thing which government provides to banks and NBFCs, and this scheme can be availed until 31st of October. No guarantee fee and no collateral. That's the best thing which we have, and as mentioned already, the second scheme which we need to talk about is Distress Asset Fund, which is there for 20,000 crore subordinate debt to stressed MSMEs. And this is quite, again, equity kind of infusion. So how it becomes equity is there are scheduled commercial banks which will give loans to promoters, and then promoters will have money in their hand which they can infuse in their MSMEs as equity. And there are benefits that it will not substantially, or that will not deteriorate their debt equity ratio, which is a quite good thing for them, and will enhance liquidity as well in the hands. Description, as we already know, quite time is already distressed, and MSME has been hampered a lot. So this is one of scheme which has come up, and this is kind of an equity infusion. If we need to read about the second point, which I want all of you to really look at, the Stressed Asset Fund Sub Debt Scheme seeks to extend support to promoter distressed unit MSMEs by providing a debt facility of up to 15% of promoters' contribution or 75 lakhs. So they will just go and check what promoters' capital is overall there, and they'll fund up to 15% of that, or 75 lakhs as the case may be. So that's overall a quick snips about the thing. And who can apply. Functioning MSMEs which are either non-performing or they are stressed, they are only eligible to apply. So this is quite a distress fund, as the name suggests, is kept for distressed MSMEs. So quite a very specific and much needed fund for MSMEs which are not doing good with respect to credit worthiness. And promoters of such units can apply, as we already did see that the loan would be granted to promoters, and then promoters would give an equity infusion into MSMEs. So the loan amount would go to promoters and they could apply. And promoters of these MSMEs meeting eligibility criteria could go and approach SCBs, which are scheduled commercial banks, to avail this benefit. To talk about a summary, it's an equity support, as we already talked about, and is facilitated by Government of India in recent scheme launches. And this is a number which has come up by government, that 2 lakhs MSMEs would be benefited, which are quite hampered in the current situation like COVID. And functioning MSMEs, which are NPAs or stressed, will be eligible, as we already looked at the eligible criteria. And government would provide a support of 4K crores to Credit Guarantee Fund Trust, a, a small and micro enterprises, the name which already was mentioned by Shekhar sir quite in detail, how it really works, and how government goes and gives cover to these banks and NBFCs to fund to these MSMEs which are stressed. So it's quite a cover insurance kind of thing which is being provided by government. And then we have promoters of MSMEs will be given debt by banks, then will be infused as equity, as we already talked about. this specific fund scheme summary. Then the third fund which we have is equity infusion for MSMEs. So this is again a fund of funds kind of stuff where government would come up with and launch a fund, and then other other enterprises and organizations could join as well, government ones, and they can form a daughter funds which will accumulate and become a very high fund. That's what the fund of fund scheme is all about. And then again, it is for MSMEs which are having serious shortage of equity funds. So specific to MSMEs which have quite a high debt equity, or they do not have equity funds to go and invest in the businesses. And then funds of fund will provide equity infusion, and which have quite a good growth potential. Thereby they can use this fund and go and invest in required investment where they need to make either in assets, machineries, and uh, or on building or somewhere, or they could actually go and pay back their specific debts which are also running at a higher rate. They could utilize this fund in the way they want. And this is more to potentially grow the MSMEs which have quite good business model in place, and they have quite a vision to go and get listed in stock exchanges if provided support. So they will also be doing a viability check on this, whether companies or MSMEs which are there could come up into this criteria. What scheme points are? So this is for MSMEs which face severe shortage of equity. The corpus would be 10,000 crores from government, and will provide equity funding to MSMEs to grow potentially, and will be checked for viability. And fund of funds will operate through a mother fund and few daughter funds. So government of India will be anchor investor for the mother fund with the 10,000 crore, and then the rest would be seeked via few other daughter funds. The fund structure will help leverage 50,000 crore of fund at daughter level, and will help to expand MSME size as well as capacity. The final check would be to see the viability and look if these MSMEs could be promoted to become and get listed in times to come. So these are scheme points which we have, and these were quite also discussed at from banking side by Uday sir. So I really thank him for taking this topic also into his speech. Thanks a lot for everyone.
Thank you so much, Piyush sir, for your wonderful highlights about the various topics which you have covered. Thank you so much for your time. We'll also have questions to him in some time. But before that, let's have our last speaker for the day. We have Mr. Harshit sir, and he is basically a CA and a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountant of India, and has completed CA in 2019 and currently working with an MNC in Ahmedabad as Associate Hyperion Functional Consultant, which is involved in providing cloud services to various organizations where they configure various EPM modules. I welcome you, sir, on behalf of DITO. Now, request you to please share your inputs about MSME exports, because there are various industries who deal in exports. So, request you to please highlight on export for MSME.
Thank you, Kiran, for such a good introduction of mine. And I'm glad that DITO team has approached me and provides such a good platform to a discussion on a very relevant topic nowadays, which is, MSME, as we had seen that in this COVID situation has been badly affected. And to overcome from this situation, they are focusing and, putting their efforts to survive them in this situation. Now, since Uday sir and Shekhar sir has already discussed about what MSME, how registration is done, and Piyush sir has discussed what the challenges they are facing. So, in pursuance of the same, I would like to focus on the exports. So, MSME are contributing to the exports, because generally exports are also one of the revenue factors. So, revenue factors which through which MSME has come up with and try to make their profits. Now, recently, when I just going through the CIS site, I had observed that for the financial year 18-19, MSME has put a lot of efforts and come up with a very great percentage and contribute around, these MSME products has contribute around 48.1% to the total exports, which reflect that it is coming up with the great efforts as comparatively to the FY 17-18, which has only contributed around to 7.5% to the total export. So we can see that they are putting their efforts. They try to give their best, the outcomes, and making contribution to the Indian economy as well. Now, these all MSME, these small sectors, small scale industries, you know, they are coming and working as an ancillary units to the large industries and making contributions so that they can come up at the global level. No doubt government is also helping them, coming with the various scheme, various you know, that recently they are coming with the market development assistance scheme, where this is a portal where they had they help the MSME sectors, the small units, like which market they need to target in the global market, which units they need to cover, which product they need to launch in the market. So the government is also helping the MSME sectors to provide more and more contribution to the export. And recently, the capability of an India market to the total international market contribution is 34%. That is also a good points to be taken into, and it reflects that yes, MSME is making a good contribution to the Indian economy as well as to the Indian international market, because a country like a developing country is coming with a great initiative. New startups are coming with a great creative ideas, and you know, the recently 4 E's motto that reflect the ease of creation, then the employment, then the export, then enterprise creation, how ease of employment, ease of doing business. They are coming with the new ideas on the basis of which MSME will be listed and they will be categorized so that they will get the additional benefit of the same. So no doubt these things are contributing very much well to the MSME sector. And for this, recently a champion portal has been launched by the Indian government, that is champion.gov.in, which reflect that the creation of a harmonious application for modern approach to increase the output and national strength. Now, what the object of this champion portal? The object is to bring the small scale industries and to enlarge them and to put them with the big industries so that they can come up with the new ideas, they can bring the more revenues in the situation and will not have to suffer for a long period of time. And no doubt small scale industries are also contributing to very much extent to the MSME sectors, and through which they will be able to provide more and more revenues to the local community. Like the startups are coming with the four things, that more startups, more jobs, more employment, you know, more economic upliftment. And we will be able to put a benchmark in the international market, for which is very good for the Indian market as well as, you know, in the international market level as well. So now, no doubt, export incentive schemes have been provided by the Indian government, and they are facilitating more and more promotion schemes. Now, this MDA, which I had discussed recently, that is market development assistance. Now, what this scheme has to do? This scheme will help to, you know, to provide more facilitation, more advantage to the small units. Then how which product they need to target, how participation they need to done. Now, where the fair exhibition, international fair exhibition has been held, so then how they can go and bring some new innovative ideas and to employ them in the Indian market. So no doubt, we can, from all these points, we can see that export MSME are making a good contribution to the export. So yeah, I would say that the Indian government is also helping them, and will probably see that they will come up with a more innovative and incentive schemes to promote the small scale industries. So that was all from my side for MSME, how MSME contributing to the export. So yes, I should say this government is making a good effort for the same. Thank you, Kiran.
Thank you so much, Harshit sir, for your contribution about the export of MSMEs. Now, since you are already done with all the panelist speakers and their opinions about MSMEs and various factors involved, I would have an open question answer round for all the participants out here. We have last 5 minutes to wind up this session. So request anybody who have got few questions to any of the panelists, kindly put your hands or please raise your hands and unmute yourself to ask questions directly to the panelist. I'll give you last 5 minutes so that we can take the questionnaires from the participants and end the session after that. Anybody? Yes, Rashmi? I would request, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
It was a great speech from all of them. I had just one question, like Uday Francis sir and all of them have stated that the government is providing various kind of food packages for the MSME to raise their productivity and everything. But my point is the financial supporting all that is required for MSME? like as Shekhar sir had mentioned earlier, that there are various problems that are being faced by MSME. Like one mentioned by him was the power cut thing. So, like, is financial assistance the only thing that is required for MSME to grow up in India?
Yeah, yes, Uday sir, you would like to answer that. Unmute yourself, please.
Hello.
Yeah.
Am I audible now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, financial support is not only, I can say, is the criteria, but पैसे के बगैर कोई काम होता नहीं है. तो ये एक चीज है कि finance is always required. Then other definitely Rashmi madam has pointed out, definitely market is required, and for that I think this MSME ministry has come up with a scheme, and lot of the proposals they have given there, like how they are going for marketing, how they are arranging the international trade fairs, how they are arranging trade fairs, and for promoting the marketing, because your products must cost sold for that purpose. Then how much benefit you are having available for this. So I think financial support, other financial support, if you can just go through this, because the time is very short, then just go through this MSAB PDF file. There are a lot of promotional activities and ancillary activity has been encouraged for marketing has been done by the government in this purpose.
All right, thank you, sir. I hope, Rashmi, your doubt is cleared. Anybody else would like to ask questions to any of our panelists?
So I have a question. I just wanted to know, like, what is the benefits of registering under MSME as compared to a startup?
So either Uday sir, Shekhar sir, or Harshit sir can answer this question of Arushi.
Yeah. For startup, some different parameters are there. MSME, we are speaking about this at this point, whatever the schemes we are speaking about, they are for existing borrowers. Startup is, I think, entire altogether a different cup of tea, and where you should know some, we can say, technicality and professional in that particular area, and you should have some idea which can actually basically crystallize. Like if you, for the sake of that, if you can go Oyo, this Oyo hotel or our Ola thing, that is a basic, a good example of the startup activity. And so your idea should, I think, should be best one be that should go up, pick up. And definitely government is coming with so many things for the startup, like 100% equity, then tax break for 5 years, and so many things they are promoting. But startup, we can say, it can be either a trading activity or some other activities also. MSME is restricted to the micro, small, and medium enterprises which are engaged in the manufacturing and services sector. So for a startup, your idea should be so perfect, so innovative that it should click and it should sell in the market.
Correct.
So first of all, startup is, I cannot say it is everybody's cup of tea. You have some that, suppose tomorrow you have to manufacture candles, or there is no nothing, you don't have to require any special item for this purpose. You can just go and search any trading activity, any electric activity, you can go just like that. But for startup, you have to do, you have some basically innovative idea for that purpose. Like that, if you wanted that, I can suggest one of the things, that chemical industries. The chemical industries, we are getting most of the item from the China. Now, if you are having some good idea, then you can just go for that chemical activity, and then you can do some innovation in that, and then you can do the startup activity, because a lot of the imports from the China are banned. So this is a good opportunity time for us for the startup activity also, that you can go identify some of the core area where nobody has gone. That is the basic way I wanted to say.
Okay. Shekhar, so you also raised your hand. You would like to add on something to Arushi's question?
Yeah, I just wanted to highlight my slide number 15, which mentions that CGTMSC scheme is a unique offering of Ministry of Microfinance, which is basically a bridge to gap between the business idea and its execution. Like Arushi asked that if I have some business idea, then also you can avail benefit of MSME जो भी CGTMSC का स्कीम है, और उसमें आपको 2 करोड़ तक का कोलेटरल फी फ्री सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की गारंटी रहेगी बैंक को, आप वो फैसिलिटी अवेल कर सकते हैं. तो यस, MSME also can avail benefit of startup.
Okay. Great. Thank you, Arushi. I hope your doubt has been solved by Shekhar sir and Uday sir. Anybody else? Okay, Aditi, you can unmute yourself and ask question directly.
Hi, this is Aditi Dadich. My question is small individual retailers and traders can come in MSMEs and avail its benefits or not?
Yeah, I can answer this question.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, trader are not covered for MSME. Only manufacturer and service provider are covered under MSME. So any trader, whether it is wholesale or retail, they will not be covered under MSME and they cannot avail the benefit of MSME. Only manufacturer and service provider can avail this facility.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Uday sir, you would like to add on?
Same thing. Because traders
Okay.
cannot be added to this MSME.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, so that's all the questions you have from the guests. So I would request people, Shekhar sir, there is a request from one of our guests to share your presentation which you had shown to us, so that we can also pass it on to our guests, so that if they want, they can connect you directly as well. And before we end this session, I would like to give a vote of thanks to all the panelists, Uday sir, Shekhar sir, Harshit sir, and Piyush sir, for giving their valuable time and highlighting the topic on this MSME, because this topic has been taken of our views and the major idea which has been promoted by our Prime Minister, Atmanirbhar Bharat, and because of which we have taken this topic of MSME, so that people can get maximum benefit out of it, how to register and all the problems being solved. So thank you so much for this wonderful session, wonderful information from all the panelists and all the participants who have removed their time. Thank you for your time, and again we'll meet soon. And till the time we see you again, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kiran.
Thank you all panel members.
Thank you, Kiran. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.